Hey everybody, welcome to day 15 of our Vlogmas. I am so glad that you have joined us. Today we are going to do the 3 Ps. You know what they are, don't you? Of course you do. It's Pinecones, Pixar, and puzzles. Yeah, maybe of course you weren't going to guess that. That probably wasn't top of your mind. Well, stick around and watch. Plus there's a whole lot more. I'm not entirely sure what it is with me and Pinecones, but I love them. Here's an ornament. I have about a dozen of them. It's only an inch tall. It's a little bronze pine cone. And right below it, it's about 6 inches, a pine cone. And further down, a giant red mercury glass pine cone. Pine cones and acorns adorn our tree everywhere. Here's one of my oldest pine cones. This blue one and this red one. Both of those ornaments were on my grandparents' trees when my mom was a little girl. And they passed them down to my mom. My grandparents gave them to her, and they were on my mom's tree as I was growing up. And then at some point along the way, my mom gave me a bunch of ornaments. And that may be why I love pine cones, to be perfectly honest, now that I think about it, because those have just been on my tree forever. 15. Only 10 more days. Woohoo! Gotta make this puzzle. Ho ho hot chocolate. Oh, that looks so toasty. He looks so happy. He's just holding that cup up, sniffing those marshmallows and that hot cocoa. Maybe we should all go get some right now. Here I have a set of 3 Steinbach Nutcrackers. Apparently Steinbach is a very world-renowned maker of these nutcrackers based in Germany. I'm not necessarily a collector of these, but when I was in high school, my mother had purchased these. She loved them and she gifted them to me. And this particular set is the 3 wise men. Often nutcrackers are kings or soldiers or things like that, but this was a special set of the 3 wise men: Caspar, Melchior, and Balthazar. And of course there were not actually just 3 wise men, but tradition has, over the centuries, has given them these names and boiled it down to 3 because of the 3 gifts that were mentioned, but there was likely a whole crew of them. But in any case, I have these nutcrackers. They're beautifully made with silks and lace and of course fake jewels, but feathers and faux fur, and they're just really, really very nice. These are, apparently there are 2 sizes. There are the mini size that are about half as tall, and then these, I think they're about 14 inches. Yeah, but I just love them, and every year they come out and are placed somewhere in our home, often near the fireplace or near the base of the tree. This year they are on this tiered table next to our couch. Okay, everybody, we're going to do something really kind of crazy and unique. We have this ball here, a Pixar ball, and Waffles goes crazy. In fact, did you just hear her bark? Yeah, she saw this. We usually keep this put away, and after you watch this video for a few moments, you'll understand why. Because she gets loud, squeaky, crazy, overwhelming, because it's just a little too big for her to bite on and to pick up and take somewhere, and yet it bounces and she loves to chase it. So let's watch. Get it. Get the ball. What are you going to do? Get the ball. Get the ball. Watch. Here we go. Okay, let's look at our Bible verse for today. It comes out of Luke chapter 2, verses 13 and 14, and we've already mentioned this because these are the people that came to talk to the shepherds. And those are the characters in our 25 days of the Christmas stories. They're called angels. A lot of mythology has developed over the years of angels, but in the Bible, they're messengers. They're sent by God to give good news. And here's the verse. Suddenly there was a multitude of heavenly hosts with the angel praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest heaven, and peace on earth to people he favors." And that's the good news, that Jesus came, was born, and will bring peace to mankind. Not political peace, not financial peace, not emotional peace, but spiritual peace, a resolution of the problem of man and sin and separation from God. And if you've got questions about that, go ahead and share that with me in the description or contact me. I don't want to get highly preachy here, but there's a reason, there's a message. That's what the Christian faith is based upon. So let me talk about this peace and this stress. We fill our lives with so much, and the holidays, above all other times, can get really crazy. And I have to admit to you that today I kind of hit a little wall, and I'm expecting next week to hit a major wall. And why is that? Well, because I think I bit off a bit more than I could chew. I hope you're enjoying these daily vlogs, and I don't want to whine about it. I've actually enjoyed making them, and I'm excited that our YouTube channel is growing. But I also have a full-time job, and I have a lot of the other hobbies and interests as well. And the daily vlogs are quite stressful, but so is my job right now. I'm a pastor at a church, and it's Christmas, and we're planning big events. And so I'm going to share a little bit of that with you. I'm singing this weekend, and so I'm going to share some of my rehearsal on Thursday night with you. And then, of course, we have Christmas Eve services, and I'm doing a lot of the tech and designing light schemes and stage props, and so I'm getting a little overwhelmed. And yet I have to step back and say, just like you do with your life and the busyness you have, and I'm not whining, I'm not complaining, I'm just saying it's the reality that we all face. And it's easy to say, well, you know, at least I have my house standing and I have a job. I just didn't go through a tornado in Kentucky and lose everything, and I have a friend that's having bypass surgery Thursday, and I have other friends who are starting chemo treatments. And so it's easy to say, well, at least I'm not going through that, and then we guilt ourselves and say, well, I shouldn't be whining, life is good. And the reality is we should never really complain, but we also should be authentic and honest. That life has challenges and difficulties, and my stress points, the buttons and they get pushed in my life, may not be cancer or losing everything, but nonetheless, it is a real stress point. And we shouldn't dismiss our situations because somebody else has a worse situation. There is always somebody in life whose situation is, quote unquote, worse than ours. That doesn't mean we dismiss what we're going through. We need to seek a wholeness, a balance, an authenticity, and an internal peace that comes from knowing why we do what we do, and learning to say no when we need to say no, and learning to just grin and bear it. Life has seasons that are difficult. You know, a tree growing in the middle of the forest can't say, oh, I want all sunny days. No, sometimes there's storms and there's blizzards, and you just sometimes have to endure circumstances, and you do it well. And so that's the goal. And so when I talk about, peace and this internal place that we come to, just need to remind ourselves about that, and it's okay. Bit of a long ending here for our vlog today, but I hope you find some encouragement in that. That, I guess, is sort of the pastoral side of me, the wisdom, counseling, speak into life side. And I hope that meant something for you. Hey, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining us each and every day. It's been a joy and a pleasure.